グリザイアの果実。
Bonjour watcher, this is Johnny Mega 45 and welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia. In the last episode we have seen shit happen, yes shit happened, and the worst of it all, Amane is freaking stupid. Yeah, I'm going to say freaking stupid right now. I don't want to say any more than shit word. Can't you see what's happening in your surrounding? You cannot save anyone. Save yourself, stupid. Kazuki sees my backpack and practically forced me into run.
左の干木の中へ。
Honestly, I couldn't tell my left or right, but Kazuki stayed for every punch into a short kicker, pushing our way through the grasping benches towards escape. Sakuma didn't pursue her. Instead, she spoke a few words. Her voice was like a whisper, but somehow I found it ways to all clear to my ears.
残念だよ、スーを私は君のこと結構気に入っていたんだよ。本当に残念だ。
See, Sakuma want to eat you, Amane. Sakuma came back. Had known. She had known what Sakashi said. All she was doing. She had known everything and kept her silent. Stop asking questions and run! Why are you so stupid?
何？質問なら後にしてちょうだい。今は急いで。佐久間先輩は知っていたの？葉月も気がついていたの？知らなかったのは私だけ。なんで教えてくれなかったの？
Why we didn't tell you, Amane? You are stupid. I told you many times. Stupid.
知ったところで誰にも止められない。こうなるのは必然だったのよ。いいやまね。ここにいるのはもう人間じゃない。動物よ。
But we are humans. In order for people to live as a human being, three basic rules to be respect. Don't steal, don't destroy, don't kill. But now they do all of those. And everyone collects when breaking becomes danger, it's only a matter of time until your others two gives away. And when it comes to that, no one can start the downhill slide. When people fall below the absolute minimum standard of humanity, they refer to a simpler, more primitive set of rules. Don't scream, you stupid!
泣かないで、鬱陶しい。
Kazuki quickly held her hand against my mouth, but the unbelievable cruelty was beyond my capacity to endure. It was far too sudden and far too strong of those. I had to scream. If I didn't scream, the terror would tear me apart from the inside.
黙りなさい。
We began pushing our way through bushes and stands trees to hit into our pursuers, but there was no point if I was broadcasting our location. Kazuki pushed her hand firmly down, finally sniffing my mug as she turned facing me. In the faint figure, the white eyes of Kazuki unblinking eyes stood up over against her instant. It was harsh glare of a father dragged out of bed by crawling through the staring bed into the door's steady eyes. I drew clear, trembling breath through my nose. In times, my cries faded out of pants.
いい子ね、アマネ。泣かなくていいのよ。約束したでしょ。あなたは必ず私が助けるから何も心配はいらないの。わかる？
My jaw was continuing to stamp, convulsively, probably because I stopped crying for so suddenly. But despite everything else, the feeling of Kazuki's hands with mine tightly was genuine reaction. Somehow it's become a horror. Somehow, for some reason, it became a horror visual novel. And then a voice rang out in the darkness. From the volume of her voice, she was no more than 20 or 30 meters away from the thickness of it, crouching dead. I looked back as Kazuki was spoke in a whisper.
金田先輩だよね。鬼に飲み込まれたか、騙されているのか、脅されているのか。どのみちあの人ももう引き返せない。
The footsteps of the ghouls approaching us from behind. If they caught us, would they kill us immediately or make us one of them? Even in the latter, we would stare at us for very long. It was all too clear that these creatures would kill without a second thought. There were many feet stepping through the mud, many branches stepping in the darkness behind us. Engulfed in the madness that had spread from Ochis and Sakashita, the others had abandoned themselves to the final rule and become false eaters. Demons, reason for more and morality no longer had any meaning today. In the end, nobody wants to die. When they become cool instead.
逃げるわよ。
Before our ways forward to the soul-slashing mount of decay lays desperately climbing the slope before us. My feet sank deeply into the particle, my legs trembling from my douche triangular awkward with every strike. Her Sue's eyes glisten in the darkness like full of oil. Those eyes betray no hatred, no anger. They were eyes of people looking at their enemy. They were the eyes of beasts that knew no watches but hunger. They were looking at their prey. If they catch us, they're going to kill us on the spot. They tell the paradise my grave and focus and let it go and my legs caught in the muddy patch of the end and dumb down on the ground. Oh fuck!
アマネ、立ってお願いだから。もういいよ、カズキ。一人で逃げて。私はもう無理。怖くて動けない。
What the freaking you doing, Amane? Run for your life, stupid! Oh my god! Okay, guys, let me tell you this one thing. In this flashback, Amane is very idiot. My head shaking pathetically. I lowered my rucksack at the ground and took out the chicken and carefully read the paper.
私、今ここで死ぬ。
They probably swung around my cause when they found me. The distraction were at least unable Kazuki to escape. I read the status slip from the newspaper with cleverly has but I decided to strike my mind but posing that. The last time I knew this right there instantly. I bet it would go into her. Oh god, I don't want it to hurt. As my hands continued there, there's a terrifying Kazuki kneeled down beside me and telegram whatever on her own.
その役目は私がやるわ。
What? No! Why you want to kill yourself, Kazuki?
私がおとりになると言っているのよ。でも
Before I knew it, Kazuki had slowly taken the knife from my
どう
hand.
してカズキが。
I was the one who couldn't move. I was the one who had given up. Why should Kazuki be the one to do this for my sake? It made no sense.
いいアマネ、よく聞いてちょうだい。
Holding the knife in her hand and grace, Kazuki lowered her rucksack from her back and pressed it against my chest.
この中に隠しておいた食料と塩が入っているわ。ペース配分を考えてちゃんと計算して消費するのよ。カズキ、あなたに預けておいたチョコレートとキャンディーも全部あなたが食べていいわ。それとこれ。
Kazuki reached into the pocket of her skirt and took out a few sheets of papers from a memo pad.
ここに生きて山を脱出するための方法をメモしておいたから、これをしっかりと読んで諦めずに進みなさい。
Are you?
嫌だ、カズキ、嘘でしょ。どうして私を見捨てるの？大丈夫よ、私は死なないわ。いつか必ずまた会えるからね。
That's a blunder line.
あら、私が今まであなたに嘘をついたことがある？あるんでしょ。発覚していない嘘と真実との違いを述べよ。配点10点。冗談を言ってる場合、カズキが一人で逃げてよ。私はもう疲れちゃったよ。いいから行きなさい。私を誰だと思っているの？私に従っていれば何も心配はないわ。ほら立って走るのよ。カズキ、絶対に振り返ってはダメよ。ほら急いで走りなさい。
They say that first situation should be only when they are backs against the wall. I better Kazuki to save my own skin. Leaving her as a decoy, leaving her to be eaten, I moved my legs fiercely desperate to get every centimeter and escape back. There was no doubt in my mind she would have died. Kazuki would be the sacrifice, and one cowardly worthless girl would survive a little longer. Just run, stupid! I was overflowing with guilt. Bitter tears of shame rolled down and my face. Even if I got away, if I returned like this unbearable self-loathing would crush me under its weight. With every step I took, that conviction grew stronger. My legs were bleeding and shaking. You must turn back. She had told me clearly enough, but just as one I stood and looked back. The demons had gathered, the beam of their flashlight dancing through the trees, and the inside of their girl was lying on the ground, bringing down many things that had been our friends. The last minute I saw her, Kazuki was crying, she was screaming, she was glad, she was smiling. She smiled as if to say this was fate, as if to say this was the rule, as if to say it was nothing worth troubling myself over. If Kazuki had screamed for help, if she caused me, calling me a traitor, I might never have moved for that spot. I might have run back and forth. But Kazuki quietly, peaceful gaze to my eyes, accepting her fate. Her words flooded into my mind. Amane, listen to me. The creatures in this forest are no longer a human being. They are animal, plain and simple. I stopped looking back. I turned my back for the last time and I recited, forgive me. As the sky grew lighter with the I ran desperately, not knowing where my feet were carrying me. I simply flee closer to the forest in the fringe. I did to escape my own terror and kill. What the frick? What day now? How many days has passed since then? I did exactly have the dash die or composed to be right everything, but I think it has 5 days. 5 nights spent restlessly marching towards the forest and the jungle. Following the instruction, Kazuki read and noticed I walk only by dawn, as in order to hide my moments of the goals. When the sun rose, I hid myself in the bushes and tried to sleep. This lasted a few hours at most. When I woke up from the brief, the first order of business were always to peel off the lashes that covered my body. Then throw the fat bloodsuckers into my mouth, crush them with my teeth, and force them down my throat. Now the scene, we see no longer Kazuki. Goodbye, Kazuki. I love you. Kazuki looked at contains a small holder of her secret treasure. Just as I thought she stole the fruit for all that was belonging on the very first day, then carefully stashes it away. Since escaping, I hadn't touched those precious things, not even once. If Kazuki would somehow escape and catch up with me, I tend to give it all back to her. There were real forces inside their bed. The temptation was overwhelming and powerful. But if I were to yield to my hunger and greed to more Kazuki, I remember I was fundamentally no different from the rebellious skulls. I couldn't bring myself to do it. When the forest was dry enough to light a fire, I boiled food far and she sent her for my meals. My starvation and exhaustion were now complemented by the constant terror of demons that would no longer pursue me. My hair had begun to fall out in the bush bunches. Would demon will catch her? I don't know. I too had been pushed away beyond my limit. I was about to ready to break. Even so, Kazuki saved my life. I couldn't allow that to become meaningless. I couldn't just give up. During the daylight, I was simply lay still hidden in the bushes, unable to sleep, but visiting my energy as best as I could. When the day grew dark, I would crawl cautiously out of the fort. They began the stormy observation describing Kazuki notes. The loss cannot be treated, but he marched out of the sky, rendering it difficult to determine the location of the stars, as in any forest. The reading light of horizon was unclear. I may as well be able to get a better view by climbing one of the taller trees, but I no longer had the strength to do any such. This is how far I walked. Walking, man, pushing my way through lush green and wild grasses, strongly through thick and bushes that obstructed my path. At this time, moving ended the day, given they didn't amount to much. After one full night walk of hiking through the jungle, I turned back to see if I could get some idea of my progress, only to find that ridges I'd been standing on last night was still visible. I could feel my willpower shivering inside me. Decided to urge myself no further that day. I collapsed on the spot, hugging Kazuki sat tightly to my body. Her same hand permeated through the vibrate, and when I said she appeared in my dreams. In those 3 Kazuki said nothing. She stood some 20 feet away and slightly looked over her shoulder, staring inside my eyes. I screamed her name and tried to step forward, but it was frustratingly difficult to move. I showed my way through thick weeds, my feet sinking into thick mud with every step, ignoring the branches cutting at my cheeks. But no matter how desperately I forced myself forward, Kazuki moved away at the same speed. I couldn't catch up with her no matter how I tried. When I came by a sec, Kazuki stopped away again. She gazed back at my eyes. What on earth are you doing all the way back there? She never spoke, but her expression conveyed the words clearly enough.
Kazuki.
I avoided the sound of my own sleep talking. I was no longer dreaming of food these days. Last day, I come to realize why I wanted more than anything else in the world was no longer for a dream. It was Kazuki. And once again I walked through the night, and I dragged my heavy legs forward, exhausted and starving. Kazuki came to reveal a little way. She rode slowly ahead through the dark forest her back turned me.
待ってよ、Kazuki.
As I pursued, I could see many others further beyond. Vaguely, the 5 figures fall into the same eyes as they click and melted into each other. All were a family of sort. Even in the darkness, I knew them. The one had a heavy hero car. Further on, I could see Sakurai. And many others as well. Shikanai, Osawa, Okabe, Alione flocking around Komuni's feet. The one who had already died walking among the trees, shimmering hazily in the night. They looked over their shoulders by the one and spoke this way. I finally started hallucinating. Guess I just followed them out and have them guide me to heaven. No, will it really be heaven? Well, I've been in hell until now. If they're taking me somewhere else, it's probably heaven, right?
みんな、待って。私、うまく歩けないよ。置いていかないで。ねえ、みんな。
I could no longer live my lane. The walls grew crowded before my eyes, and having little doors in and out of my mind. No! Stupid Amane! Keep going! Everywhere I was going, I began to with the thoughts of, guess this is how I could fare hard to my knees, then pitches forward on the cold earth.
もう、ダメだ。情けない。私、天国にも行けずに、このままこんな中途半端な場所で死ぬんだ。
As I pressed my face into the ground, my ears began to ring. A fairly common phenomenon before passing out. It's something like a sound of your own baseline brainwave. Wait here, and the leeches are going to be all over me again. But as the thoughts ran through my ears pick out noisy clearly distinct from the high-pitched tone. Don't tell me it's the ghouls! What's that sound? I forced my mind on that strange night and decided it sounded almost like a car right now. I think I was facing the sound of tires rolling down the grip. Amidst with a crunchy white noise, there was something like a wick whining out the three-cylinder engine. Oh, sounds like just a mini truck. Having sent somebody out to greet me? Angels these days in the habit of picking out the dead in a cute little pickup. When the sounds passed, a ring in my ears was gone away. Once more I pulled my rage body off the car. Once more I forced myself out of my effort. I hadn't realized during that night, but apparently at some point I draw a near road, a real honest-to-God road, a path human being travels. Beyond the thick rolls of trees through the wet cold down at the end of the forest, I could see the gravity stretches out below. This isn't a hallucination, right? Incredulous since I didn't take the time to pitch my cheek. Outside and down the muddy slope, I made my way towards the road that lay before me. It was a fate, it wasn't well maintained, but without a doubt, it was a road surfaced by human hands, traveled by human vehicles. Momentarily, I began to walk unsteadily down the road in the direction I thought the trail had been headed. And before long, I found myself in front of a vast field, and standing as far as the eyes could see. It was full of thousands and thousands of cabbage. I didn't scream with joy and shout. Without a word, I drew a float, shut it back, then plunged into the field. Ripping the nearest cabbage in the car, I stopped my chain away, in the race not to bother to cheer his feet. Are you becoming insane? My first thought was, I saved. There wasn't. I can't finally go home. And there was only one thing in my mind, eating cabbage in front of me. Without a drop of seasoning or even a sprinkle of salt, just cabbage was so delicious, my eyes rolled back into my head so shit ecstasy. I ate deliriously, frantically as I found it as crackling mad I ate. Laughing in between these spots, so her face where the since my tears pouring down my face, I ate. It was 30 minutes before the farmer's house, so I noticed something single-minded ripping through the cabbage field like a crazy bird. When she ran to tell her husband about the bizarre creature avoided the cross, he ran out with his hunting rifle, only to find a human being. It was another 30 minutes before the ambulance call arrived. I lay in my hospital where I finally told the local police officer who I was, that I'd been on the bus that had gone missing nearly 3 weeks before. And so, in the course of many terrible sacrifices, one pathetic girl crawled her way back into the human world alive. That's it! Oh, the flashback end! This is one hell of a story. I raised my eyes from the diary, reflexively staring up into Amane's face. Her eyes are downcast, her mouth twisted sorrowfully.
ねえ、ユージは孤独って知ってる？
Cockroaches? From what I read about it, they're incredibly durable creatures. They can last for weeks without food and sometimes cannibalize each other.
私はね、毒虫を詰め込んだ壺の中から生き残った最強最悪の毒虫なのよ。
I can't find anything to say. I'm so sorry. That must be terrible. I've gone through something similar myself. The comparison will be unfair. The paths we followed to that point were far too different. Even so, I understand. Throw abruptly into a rain-soaked hand without adequate food, unable to imagine what tomorrow will bring. Your physical and emotional strength are slowly whittled down. The one wobbling on their feet have a week, the one sitting 5 days, the one lying down 3, the one that can't speak 2, and the one that can't blink with death will be dead before the sun sets. At some point, you have lost the energy to dig graves for your comparison. You sleep next to the rotting corpses of your friends. Hell on earth. Precisely because I understand I have no words to offer her. I see the fish in the tattered diary in my hands. Returning home was as the only survivor of that horrible accident. My reception was what you call gentle. The media always spread disgusting incidents in miraculous survivors, spicing out that article with a barrage of thoughtless and downright cruel speculation. While never publishing my actual name, many twist that their limited information to suggest my survival come at the cost of my humanity. I was the social problem of the hour. When I returned to the school after recovering my physical strength, the classmate threw a weekly magazine. My friend was offered to the goal. It was the guy with the crash scene I had discovered. Hey, this is Hiroka-san's face, isn't it? Poor girl, so tell me something. Why were you the only one who survived? Everyone else died. Why are you the only one who came back? Of course, at that age, a gruesome and bizarre had irresistible food. Irresistibly full. At first, the words might be nothing but curiosity carried no ill intent. At first, they might have not realized their own casual cruelty. Their first question opened a floodgates. Soon the entire class was hurling questions at me, mostly for their own amusement. Hey, you ate them, did you? Face speculation always run along predictable lines. Better than titillating fiction than a complicated truth. How can she live with herself? It makes me want to puke. I wouldn't have done in a million years. Something are more important than staying alive. I don't have the stuff today. This seeing her face made me lose my appetite. I should she transfer soon. Soon they spoke with undiscussed hatred. My denial fell on deaf ears, and I stopped even trying. In their eyes, I was a cockroach, a vicious, durable insect. Inside the confines of the killing jar, I had killed my own kind of survival, and now I had crawled back to safety all alone. It quickly became impossible for me to attend school normally. Before long, a special classroom was prepared for me to study alone. The administration's attempt at resolving the problem was half-hearted and passive. Essentially, they isolated me from my classmates, even my former home workings to take care of any problems that might arise. But since their main concern was minimizing further disruption, the choice made sense. Unfortunately, their teacher was kind, woman who offered me warmth and courage. It's all right, as long as you are alive, you can start again as many times as it takes. I'm here for you. I'll be here as long as it says, so please keep trying, okay? Her words pulled me through some of the blackest day. She was right. My survival had come at the cost of many sacrifices. I had to keep going, for the sake of those who had died and for the people who still believe in me. But eventually, I was nothing more to realize that innocent thoughts were founded on nothing more than a childish naivety. Half a year after the incident, I moved up to the next grade, and he knew how, and the teacher had treated me so kind. I rather sought a little therapy session. Her attitude changed, the sympathy left her eyes. In the end, her kindness had been nothing more than the professional mask of an adult doing her job. That realization hurt me more deeply than any of the lies or insults ever had. In the end, after yet another day of isolated misery in an empty classroom, I returned home to find the world's cockroach nest crawling in a huge ladder across the side of my house. My mom was crouched beside the graffiti with a bucket and brushes tears in her eyes as she tried to clean it off. Her teeth were tightly clenched as if to keep the salts inside. They made her cry. They made my shelter heart with mouth weep as miserable as a child. Hit by the web and respected all my sadness, I fell to my knees on the spot. Is other people's misery really that much fun to you? And then later had nothing to do with it. They were trying to look at the truth. All they wanted was an interesting story, and my suffering seems to be highly entertaining to them. I could endorse the slander and abuse, but at this rate, I will end up becoming a blight on my own family. I simply could take on anymore. And that's why you go to the school. What did I survive for anyway? This, if I just die with everyone else in the valley, none of this will happen. I want to turn back time. I want to go back to that raven, to lead all from the start. I could see nothing in my future, so I fantasized by the past. Even so, I resigned myself to the present. I accept the ridicule and ostracism of those around me. I just stepped over the bodies of my friends to save myself. Surely I needed some punishment for that. Of course, no one was going to adjust to my suffering. It was the least I deserved. I could prostrate myself, weeping in front of my friends' grave all I wanted, but no one is going to forgive me that easily. I think I had suffered more than those who had died. No one would approve of my continued existence. This was my punishment for surviving. I accepted it. I knew that I couldn't expect clemency, but even so, I desperately needed someone to give me a hope it might end, that someday I might be forgiven. Self-loathing was the only means of atonement, and it was a feeble counterweight against the sin that I was committed with every breath I drew. I was greatly driven into corner. How the fool would I have been to run from it all, to share the weight of that what I have done, but the punishment for survival was impossible to escape. I had no choice but to bear it. I tried to be strong, I tried to act cheerful in the face of all, but it was so very hard. The slightest smile on my face would inspire condemnation. How can she lie after what happened? If I ran away from their words, they condemned that as well, my class will never be forgiven. Every once in a while I dreamed that night. Always the same nightmare. Always in the same place, that of the hellish jungle. In the glowing forest, the girls from the basketball sat on the roots of trees, still quiet. One by one they slowly died. The crows lay down against the trunk of their trees, swelling out with gas like gruesome balloons. Their faces had been bloated from the start by their severe malnutrition, so it was impossible to tell where their eyes had been. Eventually, their mouths creaked open and the gas inside their bodies began to leak into the human air with a sound like a ghostly moan. Before long, those faint sounds would become voices. Amane, Amane, help me, Amane. I don't want to die, Amane. It hurts so much, Amane. Why don't you? Why, Amane? Why won't you help me? Hey, Amane. I do not count of how many times I woke up screaming in the middle of the night. Going to sleep had become terrifying, but even awake I could hear a voice whispering in my ears. The voice of my friends calling my name. When I turned back, there was no one. It was I heard a whisper constantly. Still awake, someone was always cursing me. My guilt was ever-present crushing. I had no refuge. Entirely lost the ability to distinguish between reality and my dreams, even when I screamed at phantoms. Sometimes I thought about just dying, but I couldn't commit suicide. If I took my own life, I'd be branded for all eternity as a coward who flew from the punishment her actions had earned. Maybe someone would be so kind to kill me instead. A random violent death at another hand might be my only possible salvation. If someone killed me, I could escape without having to flee for my responsibility. If someone would only punish me, which is Yuji. Yes, that was it. Every time someone harassed or tormented me, at first I thought the weight of the sin on my shoulders grew a little lighter. If I could live my life entirely for someone else's sake, maybe someday I will be forgiven. But for that, I needed someone who will punish me for the sins of surviving. So that's the moments. So there, when moments of happiness for me when I laughed, I could simply offer a silent apology to do that. I needed someone who would give me an excuse for when the voice fades away in my ear. I needed as answer to that little focus. See, I'm getting exactly what I deserve. I just needed that. In the end, I wished years of my life waiting for someone who could bring me that hollow self-comfortable comfort.
そんな時、私に罰を与えるのにふさわしい男が現れた。私を助けるために自分を犠牲にした風見一樹。その風見一樹の弟、遺族、それがユージだったんだよ。ずっと黙っててごめんね、ユージ。私はね、あんたのお姉ちゃんを犠牲にして生き残った惨めな卑怯者なんだよ。ごめんなさい。
Still standing to my eyes, Amane sniffles miserably. I see. My body's feel as stiff as wood as a wood coming out of my mouth. It takes all my efforts just to not. I understand. Some sins can never be forgiven. No matter how many times you apologize, the dead can never come back.
ずっと言おうと思ってたんだよ。謝ろうと思ってた。でも私ね、事故の後一度だけ和樹の家に行ったことがあるの。家族の人には本当のことを全部話そうって思ってた。信じてもらえなくてもひどく責められても構わない。でも一言謝りたいってずっと思ってた。でも和樹の家には誰もいなかった。近所の人に話を聞いたら、1年も前にご両親が離婚されて、それからずっと空き家だって。離婚の原因は和樹が事故で死んだからだって聞かされた。私がユージの家族をめちゃくちゃにしちゃったんだって、そう思ったら怖くて言い出せなかったんだよ。
Trainer Kazuki-chan was the catalyst of my parents' divorce. But what came after the real disintegration of my family, that was inevitable. My father's death and my mother's suicide were inescapable fated events. Amane had nothing to do with any of that. And either way, making her into a scapegoat won't change the past.
だから私がユージと初めて会った時、私は思ったの。私がユージからお姉ちゃんを奪ってしまったのなら、だったらせめて和樹の代わりになろうって、そう思ったの。私なんかじゃ和樹の代わりにはならない。そんなのは私に都合がいいだけの逃げだってそう分かっていても、他にできることなんてなかった。だから何を言われても逆らわない優しいお姉ちゃんになろうって、そう決めた。ユージが望むなら何でもしてあげようって思った。キスされるぐらいどうってことない。それ以上望まれても断るつもりはなかった。何をされても絶対に文句は言わない。ユージが望むなら何でもしてあげようって思った。抱かれるぐらいどうってことない。どうせ一度は諦めた命だし、和樹の代わりに生き残った命だもん。私はユージの本当のお姉ちゃんじゃない分、 本当のお姉ちゃんにはできないこともしてあげようって決めたの。
Hold on a minute, I want to make sure I'm clear on something. In other words, your approach is me out of a sense of responsibility, not any romantic feelings? I'm not going to get angry about it at this point. Give me the honest truth.
正直に言うとね、別にユージのことは嫌いではないけど、好きというほどのめり込んでいるわけでもなかった。都合のいい女でいてあげるのが私の罰だって、そう思ってた。生き残った罰としては全然軽いと思ってた。それでもユージに抱かれると少し気分が軽くなったの。ユージに抱かれるたびに私は自分の中の罪が軽くなっていくような気がしたの。私にとってのユージは後ろめたさを埋めるための道具でしかなかった。
I see. A convenient woman like that is obviously too good for to be true. So this is the source of that unease I could never manage to shake. This is how I could get rid of that lingering doubt, always coming in the back of my mind. I don't know many women prone to falling in love with virtual strangers. Over time, I do have convinced myself Amane was just a special case. Whereas I suspected from the start there was something else behind all that.
でもね、こんなこと言ってもきっと信じてくれないと思うけど、私ユージのこと本当に好きになっちゃったんだよ。それじゃダメなんだよ。それじゃ罰じゃなくなっちゃう。気がつけば収まってた悪夢とか幻覚とか幻聴がまた復活して、みんなが私を責めるんだよ。またお前だけ幸せになるのかって。もっとずっと強い罰が必要なのに、これ以上ユージを好きになっちゃダメなのに。どんなに好きになっても私の行く場所にユージを連れてはいけない。私一人で行かなければいけないのに。もうこれで最後にしよう。本当のことを打ち明けてこの人とは別れようっていつもそう思うのに。次の日の朝に目を覚ませば、もう一日だけ明日になったら別れを切り出そうって思うようになって、いつの間にかずるずると。怖かったんだよ。何度もあんたのお姉ちゃんを見殺しにしたのは私だよって言おうと思った。そう口にしてしまいたかったのに。でもそれを口にすればきっとユージは私の前からいなくなる。どんなに謝っても私が見捨てた和樹は生き返らない。だからごめんね。
So in other words, she went in reluctantly, but now she's pretty much enjoying herself. In the first place, why are Amane's romantic feelings the first thing on my mind here? My sister, my family, all of that is just a messy, ugly pain in the ass. In the end, I think I'm much more concerned about what comes next. At times like this, the fundamental strategy is to hear out the woman's story and throw in a few vague responses here and there, but I think I may need to say something pretty soon. Okay, so what's the problem of her? What's the main problem later? We all know that the four characters is the problem. And now it's this.
ねえ、ユージ。
Yes?
私を殺してくれない？
Whoa! Say what?
私はこんなことでしか罰を受けられない。こんなことでしか許しを得られない。だったらもうユージに殺してもらうしかないの。ごめんね。
What the hell are you talking about? Have you gone soft in the head? Huh? Do you expect me to kill someone who squeezed like a piglet over a single chop off to the head? Don't make me laugh.
ごめんね。
And that's another thing. Stop it with the damn I'm sorry, will you? I can't stand that phrase. Those were the final words my mother left for me before her suicide. Utterly anti-Baron words also rendered. Every time I heard that phrase, I remember myself the way I was. I remember my failure, my inability to act, my chest drums painfully. First off, don't try to mimic Kazuki, alright? I'm only had one sister and she's gone now. Or what, do you enjoy ripping open my old scars or something? Then, this I'm sorry chorus of yours is putting me in a lousy mood.
ごめん。
I'm telling you to stop that idiot. I mean, weren't you Kazuki's classmate? Did she ever tell you not to say sorry so damn much? Very well then, allow me to increase your repertories of phrases, your brain, you mush-brained parrot. Repeat after me, thank you.
ありがとう。
Every time you feel sorry, crawl out your throat, change it to thank you before it gets out of your mouth. That's your punishment. Don't even think about dropping your apologies on me abruptly. Desire that you'll be forgiven and flying off into the night. Got that?
私、バカだからよくわかんない。どういうこと？
You really are a dim-witted woman. You know that. Ah, goddammit. How am I supposed to explain this? I'm just as dim-witted. Let me think for a while. You're a distraction woman. Go sit on your heels and reflect on your idiocy. I'm going to get my thoughts together.
正座で？
Sit?
ワン！
Huh. To be honest, so much just so goddamn me on me at once that my head can't keep on me. Why am I supposed to think about all this? First, there's the Amane pass. Not to put too finely a point on it, but I don't give a shit. From what I read in the diary, she did nothing wrong. Kazuki's decision was understandable. I probably would have done the same thing in her place. If anything, Kazuki had fought for enjoying the nice heroic death, leaving all the messy, angsty business of surviving to her friend. For one thing, I'm still not fully convinced Kazuki would die as easily as that. But either way, that's not a problem. The past is the past, nothing can be done by any of that now. You can spit out as many what ifs and ifs only as you want, but unless you are using it as reference for next time, it's a meaningless exercise. The only thing that matters now is what we do next. Amane?
はい、なんでしょう？
All said and done. You love me, yes? Confirm or deny?
そう、ごめん。いや、ありがとう。
Huh, very well, sit.
ワン。
Why you bark like a wolf? Amane says she's loved me. So how about my own feelings on the matter? I have thought them over and over many times. I'm really damn sure by now. I love Amane. I'm a bit ashamed to say, but on purely practice, I doubt there's another woman in the world as convenient as her. Then again, is that really all there is to it? Huh. As I fold my arms in thought, I find my eyes have come to rest on a beautiful folded work. My jaw is pretty rough on the clothes. They snag on thorny bushes, rip against walls, and drag along the ground. More often than not, I come back with a number of holes in my uniform. It was only a few days ago that I realized those holes were being repaired. Out on the job, I happened to glance at the elbow of my uniform where the torn seam had been neatly stitched back together. The colleague noticed as I stared at the careful needlework, asked, "You why sew that up for you?" And the words so slipped out of my mouth. Started my own reply. I thought long hard about what Amane was to me. What wearing the clothes she meant for me, I stuffed my mouth with the lunch she packed for me. I found it in the matter. What about Amane had I fallen in love with anyway? Her looks, true, she was definitely an attractive woman from any angle. The long hair and nice skin didn't hurt either. She accepted everything I did without a word of complaint, and she was up for anything, anytime. But at the end of the day, I don't think that had much to do with it. I can't express it too well, but what really stood out was the way she mended my clothes without a word, and the way she always made a lunch for me. Right, she always did so much for me. Amane worked as hard as she could to make one dull man like a life less miserable, and it made me happy. Even if Amane has been unbelievably ugly, I will fall for her. But the same token, whatever happened in the past, I'm not going to stop loving her. Whatever happened in the past, I'm not going to stop loving her. Yeah, that's a good quote. That feeling is going anyway, no matter what.
何？
Nothing, shut your trap, I'm still thinking.
はーい。
Still sitting right straight on her heels, Amane's face drooped on like a potty puppy given a command to wait. Studying her comically forlorn expression, I move on to consider the final problem. I could simply tell her you are forgiven on the spot, but there's no way that would resolve the issues. If anything, my forgiveness might inspire her to go look for a new punishment, driving her to erratic, even dangerous behavior. In that case. Alright, Amane, what's better to be decided? On your feet. Did the music just stop?
ちょっと待って。足がしびれて。
Huh, right then, I will help you out. Here.
ありがとう。よいしょっと。 それで、私はどうすれば。
I've thought this over pretty carefully, but let me make one thing clear first. I don't take to take pity on you because of your past.
うん。
Everyone has a regret or two. It's a natural part of being alive. That said, I also understand yours is a particularly complicated, painful one. Telling you forget it or don't worry about it will be a waste of breath. Your most that deed isn't going to stop tormenting you. You might as well end up carrying it on your shoulders for the rest of your life. And this idea that your current good deeds can somehow redeem you for what happened in the past is a lot of self-service crap. You have got no choice but to receive your punishment for the rest of your life. I'm not really old or wise enough to say that's life, like sole authority on the matter. But there are many times I'm better accustomed to living with suffering than you. Therefore, I will arrogantly throw my conclusion in your face, accept it gratefully. You asked me to kill you just now, right?
言った。
Not attach it to your life.
私の命が欲しいって言うなら、ユージにあげる。
I see, alright, I accept. From this moment forward, you are going to live the rest of your life for my sake.
え？
It just sounds crappy lies you pick out of the ground in the mountains, right? Can't be worth that much to you. I will take it off your hands.
でも。
Why now? You have a problem? Too bad. You gave your life to me, so I can do whatever the hell I want with it. You have no right to complain.
なんだろう。もうちょっとわかりやすく説明してもらえると嬉しいんだけど。
Nothing to explain, nothing's really going to change. Just keep doing what you're doing. Live for my sake. Devote yourself to me. I'm the king, you're my pet dog. Got it?
変わらないってどういうこと？
Do you have a way of marshmallow flour on for a brain fine? I put it even more simply and rudely. God damn you, how dare you leave my sister to die? I never forgive you. You are my slave for life. Understood? If I understand, bark like a dog, you filthy mark. Amane, stay with me for the rest of your life. That's your punishment.
じゃあさ、もしかして私、ずっとユージのそばにいてもいいの？
Yes. I just answered this question. Not only can you're going to it. I'll smack you silly if you're trying to spy on me. Keep that in mind.
ユージ。
What now?
ユージ。
Uzi. Are you crying? Spit it out already, also I'm not a submachine gun. Whoopsie. You know something? You always make this ridiculous, ugly face when you cry.
ひどいよ。こんな時ぐらい泣かせてよ。
There, okay, this is getting annoying already. I allow you 5 minutes maximum.
ユージ、優しくないよ。
If I was right, it would hardly be a punishment. As Amane break into the chest, I wrap my arms around her and hug her tightly to my chest. There's only one way I can save this woman. There's only one way I can save this woman. And it's not by trying to break the curse of her past. I simply accept everything. Knowing her past, knowing her trauma, I accept it. I'll provide her with the punishment she needed. There's no other way. And the episode, my friend. Thank you for watching my video. A video just for fun. Don't take heart, brothers and sisters. Magic word time. Adios, Formosa.